Hey y'all, it's Diana from the Dianaverse, and I'm here for your full moon in Virgo forecast. Before I get started, let me remind you, if you appreciate these videos, and I think some of you do, because I see a certain amount of the people who are subscribed watching every month. I see the numbers anyway, I don't see you particularly. The computer sees you. If you could like and subscribe and share with your astrology friends, it would help me out a lot. The way YouTube works, as I'm sure you know, is that they have algorithms for the numbers of people who like and watch your show, and then more people can see it that way. If nobody's liking the video, it doesn't get to you in time, like they don't prioritize, even with a subscription, showing it to you right when I post it, so you might get it a few days late. If more people are liking it, it just helps me get the video out there in a timely manner to people, more people in time, right? So that you're not seeing this 5 days later. Their algorithms have gone up. I need 1,000 people to actually get this out there right when I post it, or to be able to put a tip jar or something if anyone wanted to support me. Right now I have 18 people, so I'm small fry, but I appreciate anyone who likes, and if this points out things that are going on in your life, I love to hear about that in the comments. I love to get feedback and see if the things I'm talking about are relevant for people. So also comments, love the comments, please send them. All right, moving along. Happy birthday to my Pisces out there, because this is the part of the calendar year where the emphasis is on you. We've got the sun in Pisces shining that spotlight for you in all of your beautiful glory. And anytime when you have the full moon, as I've said in other videos, it's an opposition of the moon compared to the sun from our vantage point here on Earth. So the moon is on the side of the Earth where it is going to reflect the maximum amount of light back from the sun to where we can see it. And that's our full moon. And it's always in the opposite sign of the zodiac. So when we have our Pisces sun right now, that's going to be the full moon in Virgo. Excuse me, a little funny this morning. So the full moon in Virgo, and I've talked about this last year in the summer, that Pisces Virgo axis is the mermaid axis, right? It's got the tail in the fish, that's your Pisces, and then you've got your priestess in the Virgo, because Virgo is the priestess who would be divining the things from the divine, the oracles, the people who helped guide the other people. They were really in tune with that and able to bring those divinations that they got or intuitions that they got down to the real world where it could serve the people. And that's Virgo's function in some degree. So our mermaid energy is happening right now, which is one of my favorite energies. I do have this in my chart. I've got Chiron in Pisces, and then I've got a stellium over in Virgo with a yod. So I am very tuned into that sort of energy and enjoy when this time of the year comes up. Because when they're in opposition with each other, then that creates a kind of a whole astrological person, if you will. You've got the whole axis going on at that moment. So being the full moon, this is where things are coming to completion that maybe you were just thinking about making real back in Virgo season, which would have been late August and early September. So think back, if you keep journals, if you keep astrological notes. I have an astrological planner where I'm trying to get better at writing things down so I can go back and look at things and see where those threads are. Astrology, in a sense, is a language, but it's a language about the natural cycles. And if you think of nature as not just being right here on Earth and your immediate vicinity, but nature also extends out into the cosmos. It's the whole universe. There are objects, and those objects have a gravity, they have light, they might have a lack of light, like black holes or something, which still have a lot of gravitational pull. And all these things are having a subtle influence on us, and these things work in tandem with each other, so they create cycles. And astrology is a language for understanding these cycles. So the cycle that we're working with right now are things that might have been in the planning stages back in Virgo season, and now here in Pisces season, we're bringing them into the real world. And I say the real world for this particular lunation because Saturn is in Pisces, and Saturn is reality, right? It's where the rubber hits the road. So we're going to see, even just for the latest cycle that we had in Aquarius, where everything was in Aquarius, that's the big ideas, the big plans. Sometimes those are dogmatic, sometimes they are out of the box, sometimes they're a little kooky. But when you get to Pisces with Saturn in there, you're going to see what works and what doesn't work, because now you're bringing it into the bigger world. Pisces is the sea. It's a water sign. It's emotional. It's also where things dissolve back into the whole. Like when you see composting, everything dissolves back together. It's no longer separated. And Pisces has some of that kind of energy going on. It's a very beautiful process. If nothing ever broke down, the world couldn't continue growing and thriving. So this is a very necessary process. It's kind of the dark moon of the year because it's right before Aries at the start of the astrological year. And so Pisces is just this beautiful watery embrace of everything and assimilating everything. It's very mystical. And with Saturn in there, we're going to see like what works and what doesn't work. So a couple other things we've got going on. We have Jupiter and Uranus still in Taurus, but they're really conjunct right now. They're in the same degree. So this could be really big earthy things going on. And Neptune is also water. So there's been some like earthquakes under the sea. It could be just your really big ideas and where they plop into the what do you call that when you drop a stone into a pool and the ripples go out? It's like, where's your place in those ripples? It can be really huge changes all at once. In relationships, Taurus is about relationships, whether that's business, personal, family, whatever's going on there. You've got a conjunction going on with Venus, Mars, and Pluto, all in Aquarius. And so the lovers are together. Again, emphasis on relationships, of whatever kind of relationships that this could represent. But Pluto is mining for the gold in there, wants to see what the treasures are, and then it's going to get rid of whatever's not working. So better to be proactive about that. And this is going into the next 20 years because Pluto stays in a sign for almost 20 years. So the kind of relationships you want. Where is your drive? Your drive to get things done, and where's your comfort zone? You're finding how those work together, right? It can't just be one or the other, and to have a healthy life anyway. And those things are squaring that Uranus and Jupiter. So you can see some really big changes in the outside world because there's some of the outer planets, the outside world there, but it's also the personal planets, the Mars and the Venus in there. So there's a lot of internal struggle, I feel like, at this time about where you're fitting in, what your values are, what you want to do versus what you think you can do. Mercury has just moved into Pisces with the Sun and Saturn. So your communication, your thoughts are getting a big spotlight right now from that Sun. And also Saturn, where you decide what's really working. So this is a lot of work, and it's been a lot of work, right, since the beginning of the year. All these things going through these planets are on the end. I mean, it's a big circle, but you start at Aries and you go all the way around. So these are working their way through the ends, and then they're going to be moving into Aries as we start the new astrological year. Some of these faster moving inner planets, the personal planets. So there was also the North Node that has been conjunct with Chiron for a while. Chiron is the wounded healer, so places where the self maybe has been wounded, sorry, I'm getting mosquito bites, where the self has been wounded, or where the ego and its place in the world maybe are struggling. This is going to especially be emphasized for people who have Chiron in Aries, that they're working through. That's a several year cycle, your Chiron return. But for everybody, the North Node is there. So it's the things that you're working towards, your visions of the future, and how you heal yourself in order to have the fortitude to move forward with that. And I hope that everyone has done a lot of clearing over the last, since the last Virgo new moon. There was a lot of stuff about letting go last summer and into the early fall. And I hope you've been able to work through some of that. I know I'm working through stuff, and like anybody else, and I've worked through some of it I'm still working on. And I just, wish you that beautiful journey towards things that you have your eye on for the future there. And there's a lot of healing that can happen from that if you can let things flow. Since we're in Pisces, water sign, let the stuff flow that you don't need to hold on to anymore. No matter who was wrong or right, or how hard you tried and it didn't work, it's just time to move forward with the new things. So hope you all have a great journey with that, and let me know below what's going on for you. I'd love to talk about it. So for our herb of this month, the plant I'm working with has been cacao for several weeks now. The local farmers market, I'm here in Florida again, as you might have noticed. My family lives here, and my parents are getting elderly, and so I am here helping fix a lot of things on their property. But I found cacao at a local market, and I started working with it. I'm really enjoying the energy of the plant. If you're following my Instagram, you've seen some of the bowls I made from the pods. Just really taking a deep dive with that plant. And I bought from a local Latina person. She has a connection with farms in southern Mexico and does the ceremonial grade cacao. So I bought some of that from her, and I'm going to be working with cacao. I'm going to put her Instagram handle in the bottom in case you're interested in working with that. That level, that ceremonial, like right from the farmers. It's got a prayer enclosed to the cacao, and it's just a really beautiful process that they do. But if you're not going to go that route, you can also just work with cocoa, right, that you get from the store, or even chocolate bars. Like, how fun is that? This month is chocolate bars, y'all. So I'm going to be making hot chocolate with my cacao. I need some dark chocolate with the cacao pods that I made. They were okay. It was my first try, but I'm going to keep working with that energy throughout the next lunation. And then for my rock funds this month, I'm doing quartz, and I don't know if the camera shows up. This White River rock has a lot of quartz occlusions. I'm not sure if it's inclusions or occlusions with an O. I feel like quartz is a great plant right now as we begin to transition towards spring. It's a transitional moment. We're not in the cardinal sign, but I think Pisces is a mutable sign. I don't have those totally memorized yet, but in any case, I feel like quartz is a good general overall stone that isn't always appreciated as much as it should be. My parents have this river rock with all this quartz, like in this courtyard in front of their house, so it's like really great energy right in front of the house. But I would suggest putting a nice clear quartz or something that has quartz in it on your altar and working with that energy for clarity. I think clarity would be a good one right now, because stuff has just been so energetically moving. I think to slow down and get a little clarity here and there is probably a really good practice right now. Anyway, that's all I have for this beautiful full moon. Hope to see you again at the next lunation for the new moon. I'll be the new moon in Pisces. Until then, y'all take care. Again, like and subscribe my channel. Leave comments below so we can have a conversation. And I will see you soon. All right, bye-bye.